Hey, I'm Brittany from prettyhandygirl.com, and I have been dying to show you these raised garden bed planters that I made. Hey, I'm Brittany Bailey from prettyhandygirl.com, and I have been dying to show you how to build these raised planter beds with an arched trellis. They keep out deer and rabbits because I have built-in fencing. They allow my plants to grow up and over when they get super tall. And these, I expect them to get super tall because they also have a secret. They are sub-irrigation planter beds, and what that means is that they water themselves essentially. The water is stored in the bottom, and so the water wicks up into the soil, but it allows the plants to really grow their root structure deeper, reaching for more water, and that in turn turns into more growth on the top. So let me show you how I built this. Let's get to it. Unfortunately, my vegetable garden beds have seen better days. They are actually falling apart, so I need to build new ones. But I'm gonna go ahead and reclaim the soil and move it to another area of the yard before I build the new ones. Despite owning a big truck, I hate having to wrestle pressure-treated lumber into and out of my truck. So to save me time and effort, I placed an order with 84 Lumber for delivery. And after seeing how much was on this pallet, I'm so glad I saved the effort. Today's task will be to clear away the old raised beds and try to salvage any soil I can for the new beds. So this bed is almost disassembled. That one's disassembled. I'm saving the dirt over there. This is all my trash. I do need to get some gravel to put on the bottom because I need to raise this bed up. And I also want to get the wood off the ground because some of the wood that was touching the ground did rot. So that's my next plan, which means I gotta go get gravel tomorrow. Fun. Well, this will be my workout. For 2 days. I've got to transport all this rock over to the garden beds. I want to show you, so this specific stone, gravel, it's kind of got sharp edges. It's called 57. I don't know if that's what it's called in your area, but here's the cool thing. You see how, let's see if I can see how it's like all uneven. Watch what happens after I tamp it down. After I tamp it down, you can see it like creates a flat surface. It's kind of cool. Like when you tamp it, it just kind of settles into a flat plane. The other benefit of the gravel is that it promotes drainage so that these timbers are not sitting on soggy soil and causing it to rot. I might actually put like a foam sill seal in between this timber and those pavers because the drainage won't be as good as it will be on gravel. I want to take a minute to point out those pavers along the back corner. My land was sloped enough that I wanted to raise just that back corner, so I created a border with concrete pavers before pouring the gravel. This guy is pretty much good for now. I'll go ahead and start building the beds another day, but now I got to go ahead and level this one up. All right. The garden bed is leveled. Now it's time to build the garden bed frames. I have a full step-by-step tutorial available for you to purchase and download. The link will be in the description below this video or on my website. I have to say, my math is pretty darn good, because this planter bed is higher than this one, but that's because that's close enough. At this point, I was really excited to see that the tops of my planter beds were almost level with each other. I had built the lower bed a little taller because of the sloped ground, and this way the tops of the planter beds were the same height, making for a more visually appealing structure. Speaking of appealing, I'm excited to build the arched trellis to connect these two beds. I used clamps to hold the 4x4s, but before securing them, I trimmed off the top of the post so I didn't have to reach over my head to cut them afterwards. Not bad for a day's work. I made progress today on the frame, but it's time to grab dinner now. I got these 2 cross pieces up. Aren't they cute? Look at the little like washer heads. They look like flowers, or at least I think they do. I also got the joist hangers up, and so now I've got to muscle this beam up in between these 2 to mark how much length I need to cut off. Because I like to do things by sight, even if it means lifting a board up above my head. Come on, keep up. Keep up with me. All right, well, it's time to mark this other board, take it down and cut it. But got it up there. Now I just have to mark. I'm to be taking this horse fencing, farm fencing, range master horse fencing is gonna go up and over to the other bed, and these will be monster trellises that hopefully all of my veggies will not outgrow. Now that I have the horse fencing fed over the top support, I can snip off the excess and attach the fencing to the inside of the garden bed with wire staples. I decided to clad the sides of my raised bed with corrugated metal. I found the best tool for cutting it is a circular saw with a blade specifically for cutting metal. Oh, so awesome outside, although it's a little bit on the warm side. Anyway, back outside working on the garden beds. As my plumber says, who I know watches all this, I'm flitting all over the place, but that's kind of how it goes. I have a special friend today who's gonna be helping me, which is great. I need like that extra pair of hands to just get this thing past the finish line. Taking shape. Say hi, Ronnie.
Hi.
She did. Ronnie is attaching the metal roofing material to the sides of the garden bed. We attached a few pieces of 1x6 blocking to the inside of the upright supports to support the metal and give us something to attach it to. Because these will be sub-irrigation beds with a pond liner, I wanted to make sure I tamped down the gravel one last time to prevent any sharp edges from poking through the liner. And for additional protection, I decided to lay a piece of weed barrier fabric on top of the gravel. This may be overkill, but better safe than sorry. Ronnie and I are carefully laying the pond liner inside the garden bed. After we get it centered, I attach it to the bed frame using heavy-duty staples. Made some serious progress today. Ronnie helped me and we got the liners done. So now all we have left to do is build the like little gates, little fencing on the sides, put in the irrigation in the bottom and put soil in it. It's looking good. So I'm sealing the ends of the drainage pipe with flashing tape, zip tape, and weed barrier, and then I'm putting it inside the planter bed. All I've done is cut a hole right there in the drainage pipe, put a little 2-inch and a Gatorade bottle. This is my funnel for filling, and then if it gets too full, there's a pipe there that comes out here, and that's the overflow. Before I fill the garden beds, I'm filling the base with water to test the overflow pipes. And it looks like they're working beautifully. Time to do the farm work. Sub-irrigation beds need to have a specific mixture of garden soil, peat moss, and perlite or vermiculite. If you don't get the mixture right, the water won't wick up and your plants will suffer. It was a good day to work outside and I made some progress. This bed is about maybe half full. This bed is completely full. I've already filled them up, tested the overflow tubes. So the last thing I gotta do after I fill that is to build the gates that are going to go along here and here and on the ends, and that will keep the deer and hopefully the rabbits out of my veggies. I planted my little plants, especially my tomato plants, from my friend Lean at Paradise Flower Farm, because I just couldn't handle them being in their little pots any longer, and they were definitely starting to outgrow the pot. So got some plants in here and then just temporary fencing up for now. You like my window screen? Until I can build the little gates tomorrow. It is time to finish building the garden bed gates like there are over there. Just a quick reminder, I have detailed build plans you can purchase by clicking on that link up there in your video screen, or you can find the link in the description below. By the way, how do you like my octopus hickeys? My PT had a field day with cupping. After adding the hinges to the door, I'm attaching plastic mesh to the door frames. This should keep all the deer, rabbits, and other voracious eaters out of my garden. I want a slight gap on the bottom of the door frames, so I temporarily set some shims under it while attaching the hinges to the upright 4x4s. This helps prevent the doors from rubbing when the wood swells during humid or rainy weather. After testing each door, I'll add a small hook and latch to hold them closed. It's getting dark, but I actually got all of the gates built. I need to make a few adjustments, especially to this guy, but I'm gonna call it a night and I will get back to it maybe tomorrow, maybe another day. Spring has sprung, so I'm anxious to get this raised garden bed finished. Today I'm working on some decorative additions to the arched trellis. I'm cutting a piece of pressure-treated 2x10 to use for a decorative corbel. Before cutting, I tested out the design by cutting out a shape in cardboard and held it up to the garden arch to determine the final shape. The corbels get a quick sanding, and then I pre-drill holes for the screws I'll use to attach the corbels. This makes it easier for me to drive the screws while working overhead. The addition of the corbels highlight the arched trellis, and I couldn't be happier with how this raised garden bed turned out. I finished the garden just in time for planting season. The veggies have been growing for several weeks, and they are so happy in this new sub-irrigation bed. I only have to fill the bottom if we've had a week without water. The mesh gates have kept the deer and rabbits from eating my plants. In all honesty, I built this raised sub-irrigation garden bed 2 years ago, and the garden has been thriving. I wouldn't change a thing because it's perfectly suited for our garden needs. I hope you'll consider building one of these for your yard. It's truly a low-maintenance garden since it waters itself, and most of the vines grow up and over the arched trellis with minimal plant ties. Just a quick reminder, I have the link for the detailed plans to build your own raised garden bed with arched trellis and sub-irrigation in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to click that like button below if you liked it. And hey, don't forget to click that subscribe button up there, and you'll never miss another DIY video tutorial from Pretty Handy Girl again. Speaking of not missing anything, I'm on all these social channels. Come find me at Pretty Handy Girl. So yeah, I got dressed up today. Usually I'm in like grubby overalls, but I decided, I look nice. Maybe I'll go ahead and do a quick intro video, but then I'm gonna get all dirty.